This is Neil Schneider for MTBS-TV at GDC 2014. To my immediate left is Chris Wheeler, CTO of Condition One. Welcome to the program, Chris.
Hi, nice to meet you, Neil.
Well, we've met before. Nice to meet me. What are you saying? So what you have this wonderful camera rig here. What does Condition One do?
So right now we're focused on creating the first film for virtual reality. We filmed the film in 360 3D using our custom camera rig, using 4 Red Epics. And right now we're here at our booth at GDC, and we're giving demos and taking pre-orders, and we're just really excited about being here and be part of the VR theme that's happening today.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, I mean, this is quite some rig. I got pictures of it the other day. When you're talking about filming in VR, for VR, what are we really talking about? What makes a film VR ready, if you will?
Well, first of all, in VR, you're able to look in any direction. So we have to create video that completely surrounds you when you're inside of that environment. Second, filming in VR, we're breaking all the conventions of film. So you can't do lots of fast cuts, you can't move the camera around, you can't have lots of camera shakes. Everything has to be really rock solid because the user really feels like they're in that place, and so it's very disorienting. So there's a lot of new things that we have to try to figure out how to do narrative, how to do dialogue. There's just a lot of really interesting challenges that we've been trying to tackle here.
Now tell us about your movie 0 Point. What's the plot? What got you started with this?
So really we wanted to take a look at the history of VR itself. We talked to a lot of the pioneers in VR, and really just wanted to kind of get a sense of what got us to this point and where we're headed in the future.
Okay, well let me rephrase the question. So you created this film 0 Point. What's the movie about?
The movie is about VR itself. So it's a documentary about VR and where it's taking us.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So what's featured in the film? What are the highlights?
So we really talked to a lot of experts in the industry to kind of get a sense of just the history of VR, but we're also trying to overlay that with experiences that really take advantage of VR itself. So whether you're moving through the canyons in Utah, or moving through the Strip in Las Vegas, or just anything you can imagine, we're trying to just take you there and make you feel like you're in a new place.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So let's talk a little bit about the camera rig itself. I take it it's fully stereoscopic. Was there some kind of spec that you were after?
Sure. So this camera rig right here, it can do 60 frames a second. Mm-hmm. We're recording at 5K for each camera. And we are recording stereo in the front 180 degrees. So once you get past the 180 degree mark, we have 2 additional cameras that are filling in the back with mono video.
So why would the rear be in, when you say mono video, do you mean like 2D versus stereoscopic 3D? I'm not sure I understood.
That's correct. So you basically get a focal point of 3D in the front part of your field of view. Most people do spend most of their time kind of facing forward when they're in VR, as of now. So it's really just to kind of give you something to feel like there's video kind of all around you, even though most people don't spend most of the time looking backward. So it's a bit of a compromise, but at the moment, we're really taking advantage of the front 180 and trying to do stereo there. We obviously have plans to do full stereo all the way around.
So just to confirm, so in the front, like where you're forward, it's full stereoscopic 3D, so let's say 180 degrees across, I take it, yes?
That's correct. And the stereo effect, because of the lenses that we're using, the stereo effect kind of falls off and flattens out as you get toward the edge. So we're able to blend seamlessly with the background. And
then when you turn around, that's when it's in traditional 2D.
Right, and it's very interesting because your brain is actually kind of tricked into thinking that everything is 3D because your initial presentation is in 3D and the focal point in front of you is in 3D. As you look around, because it's kind of a subtle fade-off, your brain is definitely tricked into thinking that everything is kind of 3D.
Now, it was quite something. Of course, I enjoyed the footage. I mean, I saw a demo of it. So in this case, it was like a war scene. Then we were in E3. Was this all? Well, I'm sure E3 wasn't staged, but was the war scene staged? Or what could you tell me about that?
Sure. So, it was staged in the sense that we were actually part of a training simulation down in Camp Pendleton in San Diego. And we got special permission to be a part of that. And really, we were just there as observers. They had a simulation going on all around us, and we were just there to capture it.
because what intrigued me, and just for those who of course couldn't see the footage, is that you're really like got this 360-degree view, and you've got soldiers there, and one's getting shot, and then obviously there's a little bit of pandemonium going on. Obviously it's a real training session. What does this mean for storytelling? Because usually when I watch a movie, it's right in front of me, it's unfolding right before my eyes. Of course, there's twists and turns like any other story, but it's right there. Do you think in a scenario like this, if we're making VR movies, that we have to rethink how stories are put together?
Absolutely. So, because this is a documentary, it's really just kind of about experiencing a situation and really being in another place. So we have very long cuts. It's kind of about, going into that place, being in that moment, and just really experiencing it without any editor really getting in there and like moving your view around constantly or trying to tell a story right now. Obviously, those are things that we're also working on the side. But because for this film we were doing a documentary, we really just wanted to kind of bring you to a new place and let you experience it.
Okay, very good, very good. I was, you had E3 footage as well, and where the camera's literally moseying about through a crowd. And, I felt like I was kind of getting in the way, bumping into people, and but woe is me. But I was intrigued that you were actually able to move the camera, that you were able to dolly the camera. So what kind of things are you able to do with a rig like this safely in VR without making people physically ill?
Well, that's a very big challenge, not making people ill in VR. I mean, there's already enough challenges just on the hardware side.
Maybe that was a strong way to word it, but I've heard from other camera rig people that there are things that you should avoid doing for comfort. So maybe that was too strong. But
absolutely, yes. So I mean, you have to keep the camera very, very steady. So whether it's a hardware stabilization solution or doing something in software, you have to make sure that your footage is very, very stable. You don't want the view constantly shifting around, and any kind of like head bob or motion that will increase the amount of people getting sick very quickly. So you have to be very careful when you're filming in VR because it's very different. You just have to stabilize everything. It has to be rock solid.
Now, what I was intrigued with as well was when I was looking at the footage, I mean, at the beginning it's all digital. Like there was this digital portion where you're going through a portal and before you enter the actual film, I take it with the camera. But I was, things I look at are like the straight edges of buildings and such. And I didn't see much in the way of distortion. Like I was expecting there to be a bit of a curvature, but that wasn't the case, even though I had this wide 180-degree field of view to look around. Are you doing anything special to the footage to compensate for curvatures, anything like that?
Absolutely. So we are filming with extreme fisheye lenses. So the first thing we have to do in our post-process pipeline is remove all that distortion. And then we're able to combine all the different images together to create a 360 panorama all the way around. And then that's when we also are doing our 3D stabilization, any kind of color correction, and finally outputting it for viewing in the Rift. Currently we're doing about a 4K horizontal resolution for our video stream, and that's in stereo. So we're actually pushing a lot of data through the GPU onto the screen, and that's really what the core of what we're doing on the software side is.
Now, when it comes to dealing with video and movies, I would consider myself an untalented amateur. But I remember when I started shooting in 3D, the software wasn't available yet to actually edit 3D. So I had to custom, do a left, right, paste it together, edit it together, and through some miracle I was able to get 3D footage on the internet. But in this case, you're dealing with, I don't know how many cameras you've got here. They've all got to be synced up. How are you editing this? Are you using a special software? Are you having to hack something together to get everything synchronized? What's your secret sauce to make this work?
Sure. So the synchronization is actually happening on the hardware side. We did come up with a novel solution for syncing 4 RED cameras, which had never been done before. And then on the software side, we're just using commercial editing software, so nothing special there. Once the video is synced up, we're able to throw all 4 channels of the video into the timeline. As long as we keep it all synced up, we can just kind of edit it normally. Typically, our editors just work with the left eye because that is your forward-facing direction. That's still kind of your primary view that you're working with when you're editing. But yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty standard workflow. We're also using Nuke, which is another visual effects tool that's used very commonly to do any kind of post-processing. So it's pretty easy for people in the industry to come in and work in our platform right now. It's very easy to use our software.
Excellent, excellent. So you've got this footage. Is it in a raw format that's easy to translate to different solutions?
It is. So this is all recorded with R3D, which is the raw red output. So there's actually pretty wide support in both like Adobe Premiere. Nuke also has native support for R3D. So we are working with raw 16-bit color, 60 FPS, 5K footage.
You know, because there's a lot of display makers coming out, like head-mounted displays and projection techniques, and everyone's hungry for exciting content. I mean, are you looking to diversify as far as the content support?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been developing all of our own content in-house up till now because the camera hardware and the software is tied so closely together to make it work correctly. But we definitely want to, move forward with new projects, work with outside producers to really just explore what's possible in this new medium of VR filmmaking.
And this will be working, do you anticipate this working on a wide range of hardware solutions in the VR world?
Absolutely. I mean, we're already working with Valve on OpenVR in order to enable cross-platform, cross-hardware support for VR headsets.
On Steam.
On Steam.
Okay, but
Yeah.
there's other players out there too. Are you looking at other markets too?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, Sony's big announcement with their new headset. We're very interested in talking to them and working with them with their new headset. And any headsets that come on the market, we don't want to be tied necessarily just to Oculus. We want to be workable on any head-mounted display solution that's out there.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Because really, a lot of potential behind this. I mean, gaming, obviously, low-hanging fruit. Everyone's excited about video games. But you, my friend, and others like you, are really charting a new course with experimental VR film and broadcasting too, I should add. I hope looking for big things out of products like this. So I hope I really want to see you deliver on this.
Oh, thank you. We're very excited about it as well. I mean, we want to be the leader in VR filmmaking, and we're just really excited about all the news and all the hype that's happening about VR right now. The big announcement about the DK2 that just came out from Oculus. It's obvious that this market is opening up now. So just very exciting times for all of us here.
Wonderful. Now, how can people get access to your movies?
So we will be releasing on Steam within the next month or two, but we are selling pre-orders right now through our website, condition1.com. You can also go to Reelhouse and search for Condition One on Reelhouse as well. We're selling keys for Steam.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, we've been talking to Chris Wheeler, CTO for Condition One. Exciting stuff here. Congratulations on your continued success. We will, of course, be back with more MTBS TV. Thank you for watching.